well.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And yeah, you didn't stop the music. You didn't stop the music there. All right, there we go. All right, everyone can come off mute now. There we go.
I know. I
Perfect.
forgot. I forgot that I was on loop. I took the loop off for the. I
For
took the
God's
loop.
sake.
I took the loop off for the. I took the loop off for the video clips, and I thought, that the other one will be on loop anyway, but it was.
Yeah, well done, him. But hello, everyone, and loads of people already in here. But we are live for the live preview today. A bit massive game, Plymouth Argyle versus Derby County tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Going to be a fantastic game tomorrow, and we'll be bringing you loads of stuff today. We got the usual schedule as always, but we have Derby fan Connor on today. Say hello.
Hello everyone.
Yep. And we also have Dave on today. So
Hello.
yep, going to be a brilliant stream today. We've got loads of stuff to bring you, but everyone's in the chat already. Hello, Richard. Hello,
Can I
Joseph.
respond to Joseph then with chat question to me? Yeah, mate. Wildsmith's been solid all season, really. And then Mendes Lang's been pretty good as well. I think Mendes Lang's probably our second highest goal contributor this season, probably. Although he's played too many games recently, probably. So he's he's had a couple of games out, and hopefully that gets him back to what his best was a couple of months ago.
Yep.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Nathan. Welcome to the stream. Daryl, you're here as well. Matthew, Derby County is annoying.
Wow,
great
savage.
start. Great start. We've been in it for 5 minutes. And already
someone's
already. What's going on?
Hang on a minute.
Plymouth is good.
Ooh, you're hard.
For God's sakes, Leo. But got loads to bring you today. We'll have questions asked for Connor, and then we'll have some for Dave as well, Liam as well. But obviously, we'll go back for the previous game, so we will get FootMob up as well to go through the stats. But as well, we'll go through. So let's get started through the first game against Derby earlier this year. What Liam went to.
Can we not, please?
Liam said it's the best game he's ever been to. So.
That result for Derby, Connor would have been like this.
Why the fuck did you do that?
God's sakes. You love them memes right now, Liam. But of course, Derby County fans were must have been very disappointed with that result, and for Argyle fans, obviously, 3-2 win against Derby at Pride Park is a massive result. With Cosgrove making his debut in that game, which was even better. I remember the review for that because that was our first review we ever did on this channel, the Derby game. So crazy how quick that's gone. But that we'll answer Connor. We'll answer give some questions to Connor about this as well, because in that game you did tell us sometimes in Discord as well that we had the better chances in that game. Derby, they were 2-0 up, but it was Argyle were the better side and ended up getting the comeback to make it 3-2. But is there any things that you could have done better in that game to make it if Derby could have won that game?
I mean, I like the man. I respect what he did for us in terms of the players he's brought in. But really, that was a show of Liam Rosenior's tactical naivety versus Schumacher, I think. I think we were not comfortably leading the game. So I still think Argyle were a better side, but we had a comfortable lead before all the substitutions. And I think that's been the story of our season, really. Strong starting 11, and then we don't react well, and we don't have the depth to react, and lost control of the game. We did exactly the same thing on Saturday against Shrewsbury. I guess it shows we haven't learned. But no, I mean, even at 2-0, I think the first half wasn't even a half. I think we were lucky to go into a break 2-0 up, and then really, I think in the end, obviously when you're two goals to the good at half time, you don't expect to lose games of football, especially not at home. So in that sense, we're unlucky, but we didn't turn up. We didn't take our chances. Being unfortunate is not an excuse for losing a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I was at the game and I thought, 2-0, they've won it. And I mean, if they get the third, they've won it. They just sealed the game. But once we got the first goal, we were thinking, we can get a point from this. Which then we made it 2-2. Then all of a sudden, Cosgrove's in on goal, tight angle. You're thinking, he's going to miss this, but it went in the net. So, yeah.
I think 2-0 is a funny score, same as 3-1. When you're leading 2-0 or winning 3-1, the next goal's very important if you concede, because obviously you're on your back foot. Then 2-1 becomes 2-2, 3-1 becomes 3-2, 3-3.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing like if you're 2-0 up at half time, the only thing that can happen really is the game to go against you by something.
Yes.
Yeah. We saw that. I said this on Saturday when we scored our second goal just before half time against Shrewsbury. That was a really bad thing for us because it gave them no choice but to attack us in the second half, and it made us complacent. We gave away a free kick and a poor out. I mean, the wall actually parted and it went through the wall, which is never a good sign. And then we gave away a penalty, which was arguably soft, but regardless,
I think,
you give away chances. Like you can't.
I think tomorrow, if you go 1-0 up, that's good for you lot. But if you go 1-0 down, it's backs against the wall for you, to be honest, considering our home form.
Well, yes. I mean, our form away from home is not great, but we have come back from 1-0 down. I think we've come down from 1-0 down. I think to win 4 times this season. So I wouldn't say it's as simple as that. Yeah. We've lost a lot of games from winning positions and won a lot from losing positions. So it's not as simple.
We have as well, Liam.
Yeah.
We have as well, Liam.
A couple of questions on here from me. I'll just answer them. So, Joseph, you said about where you think we'll finish. I think probably 4th now, which is why I had us at the start of the season. I think about a month ago, you asked me, I would have been optimistic and I'd have said second and all that, but it's too far. It's
no
too
worries,
far
Nathan.
now.
I've just been looking at Derby's stats the last 6 games. Obviously Shrewsbury 2-2, Cheltenham won 2-0, lost to Barnsley, beat Charlton, drew with Lincoln, lost to Wickham. 8 points in 6 games. Obviously promotion teams are looking. 6 games, you're wanting at least 13 points, aren't you? Really, if you're pushing.
Well, if you're going to get autos,
I think our next
2
2-3 games will define our season.
Yeah,
I think our next 2 games will define our season. If we can get 4 points, that's 2 games.
Yeah. If you get through these 2 games unscathed, you're promoted.
Yes.
As far as I think.
Yes, I think if we can get 2 victories, I think fantastic, because we have had a rocket patch. And
I mean, you talk about our last 6, and I agree. I mean, I'd look at those games. We've had 2 very difficult away games at Wickham.
Yes,
and,
definitely. I'm not saying. I mean, Barnsley's a massive test. That's just up the road from me. They're tough to beat at home. Lincoln's a dodgy side. They turn up or they don't. But when you play teams like Derby, when you play teams like Derby, a big team like that, everybody's it's their cup final.
Everyone wants to take a chunk out of it, especially at Park. And that was actually expected. But I think when you look at Lincoln, you look at Shrewsbury, they've both lost very few games this season.
Yeah, they're good sides.
Win many,
they're good sides,
but they don't lose, and that's exactly what they've done. To us. Shrewsbury, we were unlucky. Lincoln, we were lucky. They went.
And I'll tell you another side. What's good at shutting people out. Burton. At Burton,
they take 2 points for us, and even worse for us because they're our local rivals.
Yeah, exactly. They're awful. I can remember going there last year, and we were absolutely cruising until the last game of the season, and I think we ended up with a draw.
So,
because I remember going to the Burton game last year, and that was my first game I went to in a long, long time. 2-1 win. We was 2-0 up, and then we conceded a goal with. A little bit of pressure against us, but we managed to hold on to that win, and then obviously that 0-0 draw. And then,
you've got to earn your luck. You've got to earn your luck in a football game. Sometimes it goes against you. Sometimes it, obviously going back to our game Saturday, that penalty shout just before half time. 8 times out of 10 it would have been given. Anywhere else on the field, it would have been a free kick and ball. But I think the referee bottled it, to be perfectly honest. But then we go 10 seconds into the second half, then it's forgot about. And it's decisions like that. What can
Charlton,
define?
I know it's a different opponent, but when we played Charlton, they really rolled over us for us in truth. They're not.
And again, going back to what I've just said about playing Derby, teams come there and they'll just put 10 men behind the ball. Same as what was it the other week with us? They just put 10 men behind the ball. Was it Fleetwood?
Came for a point FC. Yeah.
Actually, that's almost not been our issue. We've actually been pretty good at scoring against teams that have been backs towards us. It's when they come at us, it's when they attack us with direct football. We're a very attacking side, and we're currently without our best defensive midfielder. He's injured, Max Bird. And we've also got 0 fullbacks at the football club. So we've got midfielders playing at fullback. And we've got a left back playing at right centre half. It's
who's the main threat scoring goals? Is it just McGoldrick?
I'd say, I imagine he'll be starting Mendes Lang as well because
Mendes Lang as well.
It'd be McGoldrick and Mendes Lang. Yeah, Barkhusen a little bit, but I mean we can get on the road.
Collins has scored a few, hasn't he?
He has scored a few. I don't know if he'll play.
I'll expect Hurahan to start against his former club.
Hurahan will start. Yeah, so
Hurahan's scored a good few goals this season. I think, but this has been in general. If you look at the number of goals we've scored at home this season, it's been a huge number. If you look away, it's been pretty poor.
Yeah.
We haven't beaten a single side on the road in the top half this year.
I expect Matete to play on tomorrow night.
I'm thinking that as well.
Hang on, I've got a few questions. So there's one from Richard Francis. How do we feel that we'll deal with the long term to Argyle? I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, how the fans will cope with it's one. How the players will cope with it's another. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround. To play a game like this midweek is problematic. But
and then
I guess from your point of view, there's no time to dwell on our 2 drop points on Saturday. You've got to go and you've got to go again.
You've got to go. Yeah.
Warney's been saying that today in the press conference. We're not thinking about it. We can't think about it. 2 important games now. Plymouth and Oxford away.
Yeah.
You have to try and get. From my opinion, I'd very much take 4 points, obviously. From those 2 games.
Definitely.
I think the management obviously wants 6, but they always will.
I think the thing is with us as well, obviously, it's to take sort of points off you and the chasing, and just hope the ones behind us get less points than what we do. Obviously, it's like Ipswich. We've got Ipswich closing in, haven't we? They've got a few easiest games. Obviously, Wednesday. I think.
They got an easy game tomorrow.
From my point of view, I think it's not anything personal, but I think the way you've sort of, I feel like since Cooper's got injured, I think you have dropped a few more points, and I think that I would rather have Ipswich get promoted. I'd rather have Plymouth in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was in the
We're so poor against Ipswich historically, and I just think I'd rather, if I had to pick one of two to play in a two-legged game, I'd pick Argyle.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and I think
fair point. Yeah,
I think obviously you go to the playoffs, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. I can remember when I was working for Dagenham and Redbridge, I was their chief scout up north. I think we finished 17 points behind Rotherham in the last playoff position, and we beat them at Wembley 1-0, and we went up. To me, the top three's got to go up. Full stop.
It's a lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not old enough to remember this, but I know going back last time we got promoted out of this division, we got promoted with Argyle actually, but we finished third, but before the playoffs. The last season before the playoffs in 1986,
and that's how it should be. It's based on the season, not just 2 matches.
With Argyle, who was second, I believe.
Reading, it's wrong. It is wrong. I think.
The
top 3 teams
I don't think any teams in the playoffs are without for us. I think that top 2 is now a step too far with our recent results. I don't think it's possible. But the only way we can keep any hope of it is by winning tomorrow. From our point of view, if we can make Ipswich catch up to you, and we think we can catch up to Ipswich, then that kind of works for us. But
I think Ipswich are going to have a dodgy spell. I think the teams, everybody in the top 6, I think they're all going to hit a dodgy patch. Hopefully, we've just had ours the last 4 or 5 games.
I hope that this is ours. And it usually is. Every season, we have a thing at Derby where we go, everybody at the start of the month was panicking because every time we have a February curse every month for the last 10 years.
I've got a lot of friends what are Sheffield Wednesday supporters because I'm from around this area, and they're expecting, just because they're top and a few points clear, they're expecting a bit of a lull because they've got bare bone side, they're picking injuries up, but they haven't got the strength in depth what we seem to have this year, which we haven't had previous years. I mean, our bench on Saturday, them five players on the bench would probably walk into any side in that first division.
Definitely.
Apart from the top 1 or 2, probably maybe not. But I mean, Ennis when he's on, Cosgrove, Matete, Wright, Airley. I haven't really seen a lot of Saxon Airley yet to make a judgment on him, but he looks sharp.
I mean, depth is pivotal. It's our issue. I think when you look at our best 11, I don't really think it's really bettered by any team in the division. Maybe equalled, or maybe here and there there's players. Yeah. But I think when you put our starting 11 up against everybody's starting 11, I don't think there's too much difference. But I think when you look at our bench, we can't turn to anything. Defensively, we've got a depth full of 3 35-plus-year-old centre halves. Yeah. No left backs, no right backs. I was looking against Shrewsbury. We had both our centre halves on a yellow card. 70 minutes in, it's 2-1. We're really shaky. We need to bring on a centre half. And we're looking at our captain, Curtis Davis, 38 on my bench, thinking, he's so slow. We can't bring him on. We can't do that. We need to keep Forsyth and Cashin on the pitch. And in the end, we gave away a penalty. And that was our inexperienced right back who's not played many games this season, Jay Rooney. But who actually had a good game before that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And as well with Argyle and Derby this year. With Argyle as well, obviously our home form this year has been so pivotal for obviously the amount of points we have gained this season. I know the Port Vale result was probably one of the worst results that we could have had this season, and then some of the away results as well. But
it's 51 from 56, isn't it? Like 51
and all that. Brilliant.
I don't know how many it is, but you've dropped 5 points, haven't you, at home? That's remarkable.
Only 5 points,
we're pretty good at home, obviously we've got a hostile crowd, not as many as you guys, but, they do make a noise. And that's pivotal. And they do get behind the lads, even when even at Peterborough, when we was getting absolutely hammered, the crowd is still, even at Wednesday when we got beat at Wednesday, I went to that game and I think there was 31,000 in. I think there was 3,500 Plymouth fans, and that's all you could hear.
I mean, the big away crowd can make a noise. I think
massive.
I think as well, it's when I think some people have been disappointed with not our numbers. Our numbers have been probably better than they've been for a long time, but and the noise at our ground, I think it's disappointment because last year, our ground was rocking every game. There's a reason for that. We were backstage for walls. We were fighting for our lives. We were fighting for the future of our football club. And it's a lot easier to just sort of, be a fan and just, try and get your noise behind something that seems impossible rather than when you've got the expectation there. And I mean, I don't know. I think our home atmosphere when we play the big games is decent, but when we have a Tuesday night game against Cheltenham or something, it's nothing.
How many will be there tomorrow night?
I think it's about 1,400.
Yeah,
like brilliant support.
Yeah, I think that's what we sold from last
week.
Going down.
Yeah, fantastic support from Derby as well. Yeah. And as well, our own park.
Of course, the game's on Sky as well, which is
tomorrow 100%. That's all I'll say about that. Joseph Robley with a comment. I put Ipswich to finish second at the start of the season, but I do think Ipswich's inconsistency will cost them, and Argyle will finish second at the end of the season. They have drawn a lot of games this season, Ipswich, mainly at home. They've drawn so many games, and it could probably cost them. But as well, their next 5 games are very important. They've got Derby, Barnsley, Bolton, all away, and that will really prove where they could finish this season.
I can't speak for Barnsley and Bolton, but certainly for us, if we play any side at home, we think we can win. If we're away, we are a bit worried about the fixture. There's no more worrying fixture than this. We've got the worst away record I think the worst away record of any team in the top 6. And we're going away to the best home team in the league.
I think the table. I think the table as it is now, the top 6. I think them top 6. I don't think we're going to get any surprises.
I don't think it'll change.
Yeah, I do. I personally think, and I'm not just saying this because I'm Plymouth, obviously. I personally think Wednesday will have a bubble. Honestly, I really think their bubble will burst starting on Saturday. I think they're away at Portsmouth. Massive game for them. They were lucky. I was talking to a guy this morning. What went on Saturday? Very lucky to get a result against Peterborough. But again, when you're top at league, you have to win.
It goes your way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes, of course it does. Yeah. Things go your way and everything, but I do expect them to have a little bit of a glitch, and hopefully they do. And I don't want to go via the playoffs. I don't even want to mention the playoffs for us. To me, it's got to be top 2. I'd rather finish second than get automatic. Obviously.
I mean, I look at us in the playoffs, and I look at our last 4 playoff campaigns and our 4 failed promotions from the championship. Doesn't fill me with great optimism. But you do also think when you've lost 4 consecutive playoff campaigns, you do think you're going to get lucky soon. So
you would hope so, but again, it's a massive arena to go play on, isn't it?
What worries me is that we've really badly bottled it in all the big games this season, particularly on the road. Yeah. And it's those big games, like the playoff games, where you need the bottle. It's not like we've been a side that's been losing to the poor sides in the division. We haven't been. We've not lost, I don't think, to any of the bottom 8 at all, home or away. But it's these away games. We'll go away to a mid-table side. We'll lose or we'll draw. It's not. We don't.
It was like I could say it was kind of like us from last season, where on the road, or when we was against the Big 6, we couldn't win any of the games against the Big 6. Like we lost to Rotherham, Wigan, Sunderland. There was another
first game of the season, Rotherham, wasn't it?
Twice too, and it was a good season, but just missing out after a 5-0 loss to MK Dons was heartbreaking. And I remember watching that game at Sky.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a very different thing when you get relegated from. I know, obviously, our actual results from the season would have put us 17th because of the situation. But when you look at Derby last season, we lost 5 games at home across the whole season, including not losing to a single team in the top 6, and we won 3 away games all season, and that hasn't changed for 5 years. We've won something like I think we've won 20 odd less than 20 games in the last 5 years on the road since Lampard left.
Yeah.
and it's that's what's cost us. I would say it's cost us our championship place, but that'd be a bit unfair on Wayne Rooney and of the whole situation last season, because I think we did more or less the best we could in an almost impossible situation.
Yeah, and to be honest, I know Wayne Rooney is my idol as well, but I thought he did do a good job at Derby with the situation that they were in. But as well, he's gone to DC United now, and it's just mental. Harvey, are you worried about Argyle's away form? A little bit. After some of our away games that we've had, it does worry us a bit, but it just depends how. As well, our home form is the best in the league, and then with our away form, we're fourth. I think it's either fourth or fifth. It's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but as well, at the end of the day, you would want some good results away from home. Like Cheltenham, we got 1-0 win. I think Burton, I think Jack and Liam done a watch along on that as well. It was a heartbreaking draw right at the end. Very
referee's a fraud.
I think to sum up our away form this season, our best 2 results on the road have been our best 3, I guess, were our 0-0 away at Bolton, our 0-0 away at Portsmouth, and our late 2-1 win at Vale.
That's a good result at Bolton. They're a tough side to beat at home, Bolton.
Oh no, the point we got up there was a pretty good.
We drew there. We drew
3 weeks later at home.
Yeah,
so.
we drew there.
Draw against Bolton, I thought that was a good draw.
Very hard for.
But in general, Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday are a bit of the exception because they've both got exceptional away records. But I think if you look at the other 4 in the top 6, all of us have excellent home records and pretty average away records, and that's the case for the whole division. Obviously, it's not too shocking because of home advantage, but it seems to be very much.
Yeah, I mean,
a big factor this season.
That Bolton result, when Will Ameson
cleared it off the line.
Yeah. Well, that just annoyed me.
Yeah,
I felt like when he cleared it off the line. Go on,
sorry, carry on.
When he cleared it off the line, I felt like this.
You absolute cunt!
Right.
Now Will Ameson has now gone to the Scum now, which is
he's at Exeter, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't even realise that. Oh.
But we don't want to think about that as well.
Richard, I am coming down, mate.
Hopefully I'll be able to see you down there, Connor, which would be great.
Yeah.
Well, it's a long way, but you have to do this every week, so.
Yeah, but I respect.
Luckily, and we got Barnsley on. We got Barnsley on Saturday.
We're the last side in the league that can moan about away travels being in the.
Luckily, we got Barnsley Saturday. Luckily for Dave, it's literally at the road for him.
No, unlucky for me. I'm in Tenerife.
Oh.
So I'll be watching it on Argyle TV.
That would be a long trek then. That would be a long way.
That would be a long track, yeah.
I might get a plane. I might get a chartered plane straight to parachute in.
Brilliant.
I don't think the wife would be too happy.
Okay. Derby have pretty much cemented their place in the playoffs, to be honest. They have. I don't think Wickham will catch up. Shrewsbury will be tough for them. Portsmouth, I think they've hit their top form a little too late, if I'm honestly going to say. If they keep on winning, but I just think Barnsley and Derby have pretty much cemented their places.
when you look at the chasing, to the main 4 teams that are chasing, Wickham have lost Ainsworth and they've picked up 1 point for, I think, their 3 games since he's left. Shrewsbury have been doing really well. They've got an excellent point at Pride Park at the weekend. But the truth is that they've got pretty much the entire top half to play in the league at the back end of the season. Peterborough are really inconsistent. And I think Pompey are just too far back.
Yeah.
So I don't see how anyone's going to break into the top 6.
No,
that's apart from the teams.
What I said earlier, the people the teams what are up there now. I think that's going to be the shake-up. And going back to Wednesday, they've got Portsmouth Saturday. Then I think midweek they've got Barnsley away, which is a local derby. And obviously form goes out the window. And whenever Barnsley play Sheffield Wednesday, they always beat them. Always.
Yeah. I mean, Stevie's gone there. I look nervous travelling. Yeah, I do. To be honest with you, I think I'd rather be going to Hillsborough tomorrow than Home Park, and that's not even a joke. Because Wednesday play a style of football which we would much rather play. It's a lot more possession based, and also we've got an excellent record at Hillsborough historically. Yeah, I mean it's not ideal for us.
And
But one advantage, I guess, you could argue that it's an ideal time for you to play us because of our form. But
Yes.
the same point can be made about you because this is probably one of your worst spells of the season.
Yes.
So for both of us, there's probably no better time to play each other. But the reality of the situation is, if the best home side in the league plays the 10th best side on the road, it should go one way.
If we hadn't have won on Saturday, I'd have been quite worried playing you guys tomorrow night. But obviously,
I'd have just went, oh God, here we
with
go.
the performance on Saturday, which I thought was absolutely outstanding. I did the commentary game, and the man and match could have been anyone from 6.
I mean, what I will say about our 2-2 draw with Shrewsbury, and some Derby fans would disagree with me, I'm sure. There's always a reactionary element of our fan base, but I actually think we played really quite well against Shrewsbury. We should have won the game. We had some brilliant chances at the end of the game. 2 goals was sloppy, but in the first half we were exceptional. We are quite often at home. We were against Charlton when we played them a couple of weeks back. But to be honest, I don't think it's difficult to look world class against Charlton.
I thought our Saturday was outstanding. Our keeper didn't. I don't think our keeper made a save.
No,
and our defence played really well as well. I mean,
our defence was
dropping long.
I'd have to check, but I can't remember a dangerous shot on target for Charlton.
No,
dropping Longwick was the best decision ever.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been consistent for me that long week.
Yeah, Stevie, in terms of leaving, our coach, the main sports coach, which I'm going on, I usually go on a minibus, but it's not running. We're leaving at 12:30, I think. So
I'm surprisingly confident going tomorrow's game. I'm saying 3-0.
Yeah,
we've had some away smashings. But
I think we'll concede. But
I think over
3-1. Then I'll be generous. I'll give them a goal.
The thing is with us, it is an element of it. We are an unpredictable side, particularly on the road. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose 5-0 tomorrow. I also wouldn't be surprised if we win 3 or 4-1.
Yeah, you do realise, Connor. You do realise, Connor, we don't smash teams at home, mate.
No,
we do smash.
The last time we smashed a team was Accrington Stanley.
I'm just hoping it's I know they're a much worse team, and I'm not comparing you to them. But I'm just hoping it's a little bit like our away game at Cheltenham back in January, where we won 3-2 away from home.
I'm all right, thanks.
How is your recent form been? How have you guys been on?
Very average and really poor on the road.
Should we take heart knowing that we could probably do you and get the 3 points that we need, or should we?
You should do. I think we'll go down there with. I say we'll go down with optimism. I think my whole Twitter timeline today has been about Wednesday fans going, please win, and we're like, oh, we'll hand you the 5-0 loss now.
Harvey, look at the head-to-head record between us and Derby.
We will look at the head-to-head record in a minute.
Cool.
But,
one game.
One game.
One game since the 1980s.
Yeah, but obviously the last game as well, 3-2 win at away at Pride Park. But the past 5 games for both of us, I think it's the same. It's nearly the same record. But
it's a very similar sort of story. Yeah. But because of that, and I know how poor we are on the road, and it's.
Because you 3 points your ground.
Sometimes it's a wonder why we even bother turning up.
But you're not.
We take 5,000 to Bolton to watch a 0-0. We take 5,000 to Barnsley to get smashed. We've got 1,400 coming out on Tuesday night. We're going to get handed to again.
I mean, that win at Pride Park was brilliant because if we win tomorrow, we get 6. We took 6 points off Derby. We took 4 points off Bolton, 4 points off Ipswich, 3 points off Wednesday, 3 points off Barnsley. Still got to play them, and 6 points off Wickham. That's brilliant.
And that's how you get promoted.
We've done well against the top clubs. We have done well against the top clubs.
And that's how you get promoted. I mean, there's loads of people. You'll see all these statistical analysts saying, Plymouth have scored many more goals and they've been expected to score and they've not conceded as many as they're expected to concede. Yes, but they win, but they do the most important thing and get 3 points.
Yeah.
And that's what's relevant.
Doesn't matter how many you concede, as long as you score more than them.
Oh, and one more thing.
We took that theory too far at Barnsley when we attempted to win 5-4. We had the chances to probably, but you don't win games of football.
Is there any joy we could get from your defence, Connor? Any weaknesses that Argyle could get at you, and we could get some joy?
Yeah, in the fullback areas, you really need to go direct into the corners.
We've got Mumba and Azaz.
Mumba then, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, our main issue really is that our fullbacks are our weakest area, and we don't really have a good DM at the moment, so we don't really have anyone covering the space, and our centre halves just get split, and then we end up 3-on-2 all the time. So nightmare, really. I don't know. We're just a very attacking side. I think that the way we'll respond to you is by just trying to go all out attack and try and outscore you. To be honest, that's how we've been trying.
Playing to Argyle's hands because we're very good at counter attacking.
Yeah,
we're also very good at counter attacking. So
some of our goals this season have come from counters.
I mean,
but same here though. Same here. I mean, when we can't. I mean, obviously, when we play defensive sides, we have a lot of the ball and we have to try and find other ways of scoring. But usually, we hit teams on the counter. It's why we play so well against possession-based teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what sort of side he's going to put out tomorrow, Schumacher, because he never puts the same team out twice, ever.
Yeah.
So that team on Saturday was outstanding, but is he going to start with Cosgrove? Is he going to start
I'd love to say, Warren's going to make 4 changes because we drew, but we lost at Wickham, and then he went unchanged for our 1-1 draw against Lincoln. So then he's also made like 3 or 4 changes after games we've won. So I don't know. But to be honest, with the Derby squad, there's very little that can be changed because we've got about 16 or 17 first-team players we actually would want to play or field in an 11.
Obviously, we've got Danskar back on the training field. We've got Randall back on the training field. News. They could be involved tomorrow night. I'm not saying they'll play, but they'll definitely be could definitely be on the bench. Obviously, Tyrek Wright, he's out injured for a few more weeks yet. Miller, I don't know about Miller. I can't find anything out on him.
He's injured all the time, though.
I know.
He?
I mean, injury news for us is that Max Bird is back in training, but he won't be fit. He won't be fit to take part in the game on Tuesday. He will be at the weekend, which is a problem for us. Obviously, I don't think it's not a coincidence that our poor run of form has coincided with Bird's injury. He is our captain. He has played 150 games for us, coming from our youth academy. He was pivotal in the Championship. He's pivotal in League One. And we're a much worse side without him, particularly on the road.
What would be your team tomorrow? What would you go with?
What I go with? Wildsmith in goal, as always. I'd go probably back for. I mean, I'd go Hayden Roberts because I think he was man of the match for us. Well, maybe not man of. He probably was man of the match. And then we cashed it in Forsyth for certain. Then it goes between whether we play Jake Rooney at right back or whether we play Corey Smith. But I'd go with Corey Smith. And then in midfield, I guess it'll be two-man midfield. I presume it'll be probably Harvey White and Hurahan. But the problem is with that midfield is it's way too creative and lacks fight, and that's why we got absolutely battered at Barnsley. So that's why I think he might stick with Smith in midfield and might stick with Rooney at right back. And then front four for me, it's very simple. We need to go full strength. We need to go our best, most experienced players, and for me, that's Barkhues and Knight, Mendes Lang, and David McGoldrick.
A lot of attacking talent there.
A lot of attacking players, Graham Turner, hey guys, interesting stuff from Connor. Clearly, there's a lot about Derby and speaks very well. Good, they're very nice from.
That's because I've had to suffer because I have to suffer all of our away defeats this season.
What's our side going to be then, guys?
Dave, do you remember when we played Derby in the Championship? From Stevie in the chat.
From when?
Dave, do you remember when we played Derby in the Championship?
Vaguely.
I mean, it's a long time ago now, isn't it? It is 2010. So
yeah. That's a lot. To be honest, I was how old was I then? I was only like 7.
I certainly don't think
I remember being.
I wasn't watching Derby then, so I
remember being watching. Yeah.
Is there any players that you fear from Argyle, Connor? Any players that you are absolutely bricking it there?
I get Barney Mumba's the obvious one, I guess.
Azaz, he's the man.
I'm worried about. I'm usually worried about any top class wide players. I mean, I would have said before the game last time. Obviously, I know he's gone now, but it was Morgan Whittaker, mainly because he's an ex-Derby player, and every ex-Derby player scores against us, and he did, of course. And it doesn't help that we absolutely despise the bloke, so it doesn't help.
What about Niall Ennis? Are you fearing Niall Ennis? Because he's my favourite. He should be absolutely.
I don't think he'll start.
Niall Ennis is absolutely quality.
I don't think he'll start either. I think he'll probably be either Cosgrove or Hardy.
This might sound, I don't know, this might sound cocky for a side that's fifth in the league, sorry. But I don't really fear individual players. I'm more fear of a unit. I don't think man for man, when you talk player versus player, I don't really put many people above a lot of our players. We've got some very, very high quality players. I think the difference is that at this level, at League One, a team like Argyle are so well drilled. They know it so well. We're quite naive still, and we don't have bench strength. We don't have bench strength.
That's where we're quite lucky, going on early. If Ennis is on the bench and he comes on the last 20 minutes, he's a quality player. He can cause.
And this is what's going to be beneficial for us because Charlton,
Right as well.
Sorry, Karen.
Callum Wright as well. He's he looks sharp when he comes on.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to be interesting for us.
Stevie, when you say Billy Davis was manager, was he manager of Plymouth? Because he said he wasn't manager of us back
Billy
in 2010.
Davis was manager at the time. Some good memories.
I presume you mean for Argyle because
Nathan said I remember
Billy Davis was our manager
in the championship.
2006, 2007.
Graham Carey, mate. Graham Carey, what a baller.
Mate, he's one of my favourite players to play for Argyle.
Yeah, decent.
I think what's going to be the key in this game is when Charlton made the changes, they stifled our momentum in the second half. If Derby haven't gotten that, I can see us going in the second half and having a good performance and getting another 2 or 3 goals. Depends of if you can make the changes.
I think if we can look to our bench to fix something that's wrong, attacking wise, we can't do anything. If it's one of those things for us that we've got a range of attacking options on the bench. I mean, if Mendes Lang's not starting, he's usually there. Barkhusen or Dobbins there, Collins on the bench. We usually have some decent midfield options in there, Louis Sibley or whatever. But the issue with us, as I say, is that we don't have many defenders that we'd actually want to use in a match. And we can't fix things defensively. It's very difficult for us to change shape, very difficult for us to change personnel at the back in a game. If we're leading a game, we're always going to be prone to losing our lead because we can't react defensively to what other teams throw at us. However, when you do look at our 2-1 win earlier on the season against Wickham and against Peterborough, and our recent 2-1 win in January against Port Vale, all of those games were when we've substituted people off the bench in forward areas and managed to win the game as a result of it. So we do have options on the bench. We're not a completely incompetent team.
I've looked at private.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know where it's
What would rest of the Argyle lads? What would your team be for tomorrow? What would you go with? What would you go with?
I personally, from Saturday, I'd play Matete to get Hura Hain out the game, stop him feeding the strikers. And I think if anybody else was left out, they're going to be unlucky because I thought Saturday was outstanding. I think Edwards has been struggling, but Saturday was outstanding. Azazi's looked a bit sluggish, but he looks to be getting back to match fitness. Danny Mayer had a great game against Cheltenham, played very well Saturday. Ardy, he's got to start. I think Mumba, Butter and Houghton were outstanding at Middle Park. And the back three, Wilson, Gillespie and Galloway, were outstanding again.
Would you replace Joe Edwards with Saxon early on the left with the pace that Derby have got just to shore up that?
Yes, Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do, yes. Yeah.
Pace that we've got? What pace? We've got a 34-year-old croc striker up front.
Yeah, and as you can see from the last team lineups that we had when we played at Pride Park, Derby's lineup, as you can see, Mendes Lang, Bird.
I'd give anything to still have Max Bird in our team on Tuesday night. It's too early for him.
Yeah.
If you look at our form, we were 19 unbeaten. Bird got injured at 1-0 against West Ham when we lost in the FA Cup, and we've not been the same since at all.
I've always liked
It's because Max Bird.
I've always liked Max Bird.
We've got players who can be just a DM, and we've got players who can be creative and not a DM. But Max Bird does both roles. He kind of fills the roles of two players for us. We can't replace that.
Yeah. Nathan in the chat saying, who do you drop though? Can't be Butch. Surely he's been our best player over the past month, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Butcher can't be dropped. It was outstanding. He didn't miss a beat on Saturday. Him and Houghton in the middle of the park. But again, Matete, will he come in? I don't know. He could come in for Edwards.
He could come in for Edwards.
I think he could.
Yeah.
I think that's a change. What will happen? Matete will come in for Edwards. Then the other 10, just the exact same, and just shuffle the midfield around to let Matete in. But I think, I think Azaz Mayer maybe could be dropped to the bench and Wright come in as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows how the gaffer's thinking? But he has, touch wood, he's got it spot on. I'm one of these where you shouldn't change a winning side, but obviously
I'm like that as well.
You pick a side to suit the opposition. If
they've got, in mind that we've still got Barnsley at the weekend as well. So,
exactly, exactly. Yeah. But it goes to that saying as well. Rest players. That's biggest load of balls I've ever heard. If they're not fit enough to play 2 games in a week, there's something wrong. Unless they're carrying injuries.
I know. Obviously, we've dropped, but we're not in a position where we can rotate players often, and we've managed well enough to get to a position that we're in.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, Max.
Warren always likes making 1 or 2 changes because he likes freshening up the side, but he certainly doesn't go and start making 5, 6. Well, we can't make 5, 6 changes. We don't have the personnel, but he wouldn't do that anyway. It's not the way that he does.
Well, again, he could start with Cosgrove. Who knows?
Yeah, could start with Cosgrove.
I guess an interesting potential thing for us is I don't think this will happen because I think he is quite key to our midfield. But I wouldn't be that shocked if he ended up dropping Hurahan. I think that Hurahan away from home is a luxury we can't afford.
Yeah, but is he a passenger away from home? Is he?
I would say so. I think. I don't really like Knight in central midfield because I think he's wasted because I think all of his energy and stuff, he's so good as second striker. But I consider playing Collins up front, McGoldrick in behind where he's played most of his career, and then play something like Knight and a creative midfielder, or Knight and even Smith if I wanted to go really workmanlike in midfield. He won't drop. I don't think he'll drop Hurahan, but it's certainly what some people.
Yeah, I don't think he'll drop Hurahan. He's too big a player. Obviously he gets a lot of assists for you guys, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he has. He's got assists and goals for us.
He's scored 7 and 8 assists.
How do I feel?
Connor, how you feel Paul Warne changed Derby from early on in the season?
Style of play is key. I think anybody who watched the start of the season, Rosenior would know that we played out from a back where it was a relentless passing team. I think now we're a really quiet. We're not. I wouldn't say like long ball, but certainly we're quite attacking, quite direct. We like to press. We like to get into teams. And I think that's part of our issue on the road. But we've always been poor on the road, no matter what way we play. But I don't think we'll be going to Argyle tomorrow and putting 11 men behind the ball. I think that would be our best chance of getting a result, but I don't think we will. In terms of Warren as well, I think he's made us a lot harder to beat, which is certainly something that might sound which would have been a lot easier thing to say 6 games ago. Obviously, we've been in a little bit of a dip recently, but I think under Rosenior, I think. Everybody was said, particularly away from home, we were spineless. We picked up 2 points from 4 away games under Rosenior against 4 bottom half sides. And that was just our style of football. You can't go to Lincoln and have 70% of it, but you've got to get into them. You can't just sit and just let them score. And then we made mistakes. They pressed us and we made mistakes, etc. And Shrewsbury and Fleetwood, they both held out for 0-0s. Charlton, we were unlucky. To be fair, I would say that.
Yeah. Like the stats show there, like 21.
That's the home game against Lincoln. That wasn't that was because they were down to 10 men from the 50th minute. So they just held on for a draw.
They've done that twice as well, Lincoln, where they went down to 10 men and still held on to a draw. They've done it against Ipswich.
I mean, they were quite lucky in our sense because we scored him in the 95th minute. It was offside and replay show he wasn't off. And we also hit the bar and had one cleared off the line in injury time. So, not the best game for, from our point of view, because we probably could have nicked it. We didn't deserve anything at all. The first half we were absolutely terrible. Red card woke us up. Shrewsbury's kind of the opposite because Shrewsbury's a game we've drawn that we probably deserved to win. From a points point of view, it would have been more beneficial winning one, losing one, wouldn't it? Than getting 2 draws.
Yeah, definitely. They say attack is the best form of defence. Unfortunately, that didn't work for us at Peterborough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not always an effective way of playing away from home. You can get some really big wins away by doing it, but you do leave yourself vulnerable.
Yeah. And
I don't.
when you're playing
I
against
don't
a team with
I don't
Clark
think it'll be.
Harris,
I genuinely don't think
Mason
it'll be 4
Clark.
or 5, and that might be famous last words. I think that Barnsley was not us. I think we made. I genuinely think we probably turned over the ball to them in the triple figures. I wouldn't be surprised. We were poor. We were just so poor back. I think one of the things that annoys me so much, and it's mainly Aaron Cashin, who is a brilliant centre half, one of the best in the division, but he does overcommit. And the worst thing he does is play blind passes across our box. Because the amount of times he's played a blind pass and he's played a striker, and it's
Hardy's quite. He's sharp, Hardy. You know, he relies on that. Same as Saturday's goal.
Well, actually, think about your third goal against us, the one that killed us off. That was Cashin playing a ball to the side and Cosgrove running for on goal.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's been all season. Cashin's a great footballer, but he's a young man. He's still
got a lot of time.
But in the
it's
day,
the
he's a 20-year-old centre half.
He's got a long time. He's only 20. It's a learning curve for him. It's his first time being on loan to a league where it's a lot harder than where he was before.
He's not on loan. He's our player, Harvey.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Lonwick as well.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dave, tell them about your pro career from Nathan.
Pardon?
Tell them about your.
Yeah, I started playing obviously non-league at Gladwell again. That was like a Mansfield-based side, not far from Derby. And I can remember playing at Derby, the old Pride, not the old Pride, the old baseball ground, many years ago.
The worst pitch in football.
Yes, where it would suck your boot off. You'd run onto the field, and it would suck your boot off. But going back to my days, I mean, Derby, I played. I can remember rightly. I'm sure it was when. One of the hardest strikers I've ever played against was Dean Saunders. I come off that field, obviously you're only little, and I thought I'll bully him because I was centre half, quite a big centre half. And I looked like I'd been in a boxing ring with Tyson Fury. My lip was split, my eye was split. It was absolutely hard as nails. But yeah, played a few times for Mansfield, Boston United, Alfred and Matlock, teams like that. Played a lot of football in the conference and.
A bit of Derbyshire in there then.
Yeah, the Unibond Premier Leagues. I suffered with knees and everything, but yeah, played Derby a few times, and
I will do at some point, but I've never had the pleasure of going up to Matlock. I know how beautiful.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah, that's on par. Their ground's on par with baseball ground.
Yeah, I am going to Belper to watch our under-21s
Belper,
the Derbyshire Cup soon.
Yeah, played in all those round them games sort of thing. Yeah. But then obviously I had to finish quite early because I had really bad knees. Then that's when I went into scouting for Dagenham and Redbridge. Then obviously when Sillett left, we all got sacked, and the young manager came and fetched all his crew in, and I haven't really been involved in football for about 7-8 years now. Obviously, hence why I'm working on the railway. But yeah, I just love the game, and I could sit here and talk all day. And like I say, it's nice to actually speak to somebody what's as well, like he's speaking about his team, Derby. Knows a lot about them, and
talk about the railway. I mean, this city's famous for it. My dad works in the railway industry.
Yeah, it's nice to hear somebody talking about their team, and they're not as they'll not just pick up on the good things. I hate, I listen to Argyle TV, and there's a lot of people come on and they're so biased to their own team, and it absolutely drives me bonkers.
I could come on here and be optimistic and say we're winning 2-0 tomorrow, but I'd be lying.
Yeah,
I think when I do the predictions, I'll probably say a draw because I like being optimistic, and I think
it's like me saying when we lost to Peterborough, we were better side. Just because I support Plymouth, we should have won. We've got stuff 5-2, whatever it was. We should have won. We got
absolutely battered by Barnes. You got people saying, but the referee, but that. Well, what? We conceded 4 goals.
Doesn't matter. You're not going to win games if you concede 4 and 5 goals, are you?
We handed them 3. 3 of the goals were from us giving them a ball through on goal. So, it's like you don't recover from that. You don't recover from that. We can't do that. We cannot do that. At least with Barnsley, at least it was a short journey home. If they do that tomorrow, I'll be livid.
Going back to my playing days, a funny quick one for Nathan was I can remember playing for Boston. We was in the conference and we were playing a team called Heybridge Swifts in the last qualifying round of the the second round proper of the FA Cup to get into the third round. Played Heybridge Swifts and they were the lowest ranked side in the cup competition. And I think with the third round it was plumb tie against I don't know whether it was Aston Villa or somebody like that. If we'd have won. And I can remember it was a day. Can you remember when the law got changed? If you were the last man, you got sent off. If you committed a foul and you were the last man, you were off. It was the day that rule came in, and 2 minutes into the game, obviously centre forward ball's been punted over my head. We've collided. I've gone over. We've gone over, and it set me off 1 minute 38 seconds.
Well, yeah, that's never a good start to a game, is it?
No, we've ended up getting beat. Then Mel Sterling got sent off over the gaffer. He will play manager. He got sent off, so we finished with 9, and a long journey back from Brighton back to Boston. Sat on my own on coach.
Boston's probably best ever result was against Derby. I think they put 5 passes in the 50s in the FA Cup. I think it's their best ever result. I only know that because I've got a good friend of mine's a Boston fan, and he always likes to remind me about it.
Great day.
For God's sakes, Darryl. I know. But as well, though, with obviously me, Liam, Harvey England, and Jack, and obviously Craig, who joined for I think it was in January or December. You joined Craig, the Argyle Way, and as well, this is why I like doing like this, like the Argyle Way. I wanted to create it because as well, we've rarely seen any big fan bases around our Plymouth Argyle, and I thought big opportunity to do it. And this is why I jumped on it and told him about this. And from then on,
it's been great.
The best thing in the world. I had a chance to talk to so many good opposition fans. It's been fantastic.
What a top it off is get promoted and doing the YouTube channel will be even better, wouldn't it? Just doing the YouTube channel. Go on.
If we don't go up this year, I think it'll be a bigger blow than last year. Last year was heartbreaking. Being up there but to be actually top and second throughout the season like we have been, and if we don't actually get there this year,
I mean, if we don't,
I think it's so clearly yours to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
If we don't,
I agree with that.
We've been there. I think in 2015, I think we were top of the league with 15 to go, and we finished 7th in the championship.
Wow.
Really?
There's nothing quite as devastating as something like that. Again in 2016, we made the playoffs. We beaten Hull home and away that season. We lost 3-0 at Pride Park in the first leg of the playoffs. We won 2-0 at the K-Con, but when you lose 3-0 in the playoffs,
you're back against
game over.
Do you two think Argyle have got a chance to win the league, or do you think it's over now?
I personally think we will win the league.
For me, I know you'll be optimistic. For me, I don't view Wednesday the same way. I think the Wednesday will comfortably win the league. And I hope so. And when we play them on the last day of the season, I'd like it to be a dead rubber game and not them needing something.
I mean, after tomorrow, they got 2 games in hand Wednesday, and if they win them both, it's.
Yeah, but one of the game in hand is Barnsley away.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
2 games away. The games in hand.
Oh, that's when we play Accrington away. That's not ideal.
Yes. I honestly think, and I'm not just saying this because I will speak the truth about us if we crap, but I think we'll push on again. Like I said earlier, I think the next 2 games are going to be massive for us. Yeah, it might come back and bite us. We could get beat tomorrow night. It won't be a massive surprise because, like I say, if Derby turn up, there'll be a massive threat to us. Massive threat.
Yeah. Does it sound daft?
I mean, from my point of view now, I think playoffs is the best we're going to get, and I want Bolton in the playoffs. I think they're the most likely team for us to beat. And then if you get anybody on Wembley, you've got to back yourself in a one-off game at Wembley. You have to.
Yeah.
If we beat Derby tomorrow, then it sounds daft me saying this, but can we afford to lose to? Can we afford to lose to?
I don't think we can.
No, you can't because it's only 5 points behind you.
I think you've got to at least, like I say, 4 points over the next 2 games. It'll be massive for us. Six points will be
very, very vital
4 points
as well with the games in hand that Barnsley have as well. that
True,
could also
yeah.
change very
And
quickly.
I mean, look, losing tomorrow would not be good news for you at all.
No.
But losing on Saturday to Barnsley would be potentially devastating because
And losing
they've
both
got
would
lots of games in hand, and they're a team that could potentially chase you down if they go. If I don't think they will do, because you look at their games in hand and it's literally Ipswich and Wednesday, and you think,
Oh, nice.
but if they win those games, they will be sure. And if they beat Plymouth as well, you've got to imagine.
But if you look at our remaining games, there's a lot of points to gain, and if you look at stats, how many points you actually need to get up, it's well within our reach.
And what's in our favour is 3 home games in a row.
Yeah,
exactly. Win your home games, draw your away games.
Is that after this game, we've only got one of the top 8 left away from home, which is so important for us.
Yeah,
it does happen to be Wednesday, but that sounds terrible. But as I said, it's the final day of the season. They might have won the league by then. If they have, then that's probably good news for us.
Or you might beat them for us to win the league. Bit of luck.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, quite famously, on the final day 2 years ago, we sent Wednesday down.
Good. They deserve to go down.
That was a game where it was us versus them, and it was whoever won the game was going to stay up. And if it was a draw like we did, we needed to rely on Rotherham not winning, and they didn't. So
I mean, I have a lot of banter with my friends because they're all Wednesday fans, and a lot of Wednesday fans around here. And we've actually just moved into a new house, me and the wife, and we've bought I've always wanted a palm tree, so we bought a palm tree about a month ago. We've called it Liam because we know Liam Palmer really well, who's the Chef Wednesday captain. He's a club captain apart from Barry Bannon. When Bannon's not playing, I've known Liam since he was a kid, and we've named a palm tree after him.
Oh,
Liam Palmer.
That's it.
Liam Palmer.
That's a really good name. Yeah, I love that.
That's it.
And I
have connections to Sheffield as well because I go to uni in Sheffield, so.
Yeah, I stood at the side of it with my Plymouth shirt on. Jackie, my missus, took a photo and I actually sent it, Liam. And I said, "Oh, you're famous. You've made it." Well, yeah, I've
got to say though, regardless of what happens by the end of this season, what a top 6 fight, because it's between 6 genuinely very decent teams. It's not, there's no, there's no I know some people love an underdog story, but in terms of for League One, this is just about probably the highest caliber that's ever been in the top 6 together at any given point.
Whereabouts did you have us finishing in the league, Connor? Just curious, where did you have us finishing?
Oh, yeah, that's quite embarrassing. I think it was like 11th or something. I had us 4th, which is more or less right, and I think I had Wednesday going up. But I had Wednesday and Ipswich for top 2, which could happen still. So who knows?
Could. Yeah. Yeah, massive.
Palmer is a good player to watch. Always gives 110%.
It's always difficult when you don't know the league. I mean, I was always sort of saying I didn't think we'd go up first season.
No,
we've got a chance, but yeah, I think you come into the league and you start getting to know teams, don't you? I mean, I obviously I know Wednesday and Ipswich very well, and Barnsley, etc., Peterborough, and Charlton.
I don't think it'll be a 0-0 tomorrow night anyway.
I mean, it depends how we come out. If we do come out to just get a point, but we won't. I mean, Warren's already done the fight.
I don't think he can afford to at this stage of the season.
I mean, he was asked today by on our platforms. If you were given a point right now, would you take it? He said no, not at all.
You've got to get 3 points. And that
me personally as a fan, I'd take a point because I know our away record, and I'd rather not go down there and lose. But obviously, from a team's point of view, they'll be going out for the win as they do every game. There's no reason for us not to play for a win in a game. We're one of the best sides in this division. And if we didn't start the season as poor as we did, we'd be right up there in the automatic fight. We had a poor start to the season because we had 5 players in January. We had 5 players when we started in July, and we took a lot of time to get players to gel, and we had 2 weeks of pre-season.
Not a bad turnout,
And as a result, we ended up when Massini got sacked. Not sacked. It's harsh saying sacked. He was more released because he was an interim manager anyway. But when he left in September, we were, I think, 7th in the league, but we flirted between 7th and 12th for that first section of the season. So only really December, January sort of time we really broke into the top 6, but we haven't really looked back since then.
And as well, you
Was
can
it-
see the league table from 1st to 10th right here. And I'm going to ask a question for most people right now on the stream. And if you want to get involved, chat, you can get involved. From the teams that you can see in 10th and 7th, if there's any team from, I always ask this question to anybody, if there's any team in the top 6 that will drop out from any team in 10th to 7th, who do you think will be?
For me,
Bolton.
if it's anyone, I think it'll be Bolton who drop out for Pompey, but I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't think so.
It's a big point. It's a big point gap.
I think Peterborough are ridiculously inconsistent. I think that Shrewsbury have got a really hard run. Wickham, since Ainsworth's left, I mean, I think he was what made Wickham what they were.
If Pompey
are a very good side. Look, Pompey,
Yeah.
before it all went wrong under Cowley, were a top 6 side. They were a top 6 side when we went there in November. They've lost it. They've got it back under Mousinho, but it's too late. It's too late.
If Pompey do us a favour tomorrow night, that'd be great.
They didn't help themselves by taking 3 weeks to appoint a manager.
No.
No.
Yeah, that didn't help.
I think they'll turn. I think they'll turn Wednesday over tomorrow.
From my point of view, I mean, I'm looking ahead. It's not for this game, but on Saturday we've got Oxford, and obviously they're looking for a manager. And I just really hope that they appoint a manager after our game, because I don't want to turn up there with them under a new manager. That's a recipe for disaster. That,
and hopefully it doesn't get foggy over there.
Yeah, Ipswich have had that experience, haven't they?
Yeah. They've had a very foggy experience over there, so
it's not going to be nice weather on Saturday. It's not going to be nice weather this week either, is it? So
no.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad
it'll be nice in Tenerife,
because if I was going up north, there'd be a risk of the game being called off, and I don't want that travelling 5 hours on Tuesday.
Well, they've given snow up here on Thursday.
Yeah, it's mad, really. It never snows, does it? Down that way,
No.
southwest.
No.
But certainly in the certainly up here it sometimes does. But it's a bit strange to be talking about snow in March. But
you never know.
Could be an issue. Could be an issue with me commuting to university in Sheffield, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll have one more question from the chat as well before we do our score predictions. I think Paul, judging by the pre-match interview, is definitely playing down automatic promotion, win or lose tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he said if we lose tomorrow, he said obviously you would never use the words impossible, but you have to accept that the chance of us finishing in the top 3, not let alone the top 2, is slim.
Yeah,
you know, and he's very much sort of the fighting talk of we can still do this, but you know, we it's very important. This is why we're not going to be. This is why I'm more worried actually, because we're not going to sit back for a point. We're not at all going to do that. We haven't done that. When we haven't done that anyway, the last time we genuinely sat back and played for a point was when we played Ipswich away and we lost 1-0. So against Bolton when it was 0-0, we didn't play for a point. It just happened.
It's a dangerous game playing for draws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dangerous.
It's one of those things for me. If you draw a game away from home against a top 6 side, it's a good result, providing you were looking to win the game.
Yeah.
If you sit back and just get a lucky point, that's worth nothing.
Is your manager just trying to manage expectations? Do you think, just to get you to the end?
I think so. I think our fan base is a weird one because you've got a lot of our fans that sort of say, "I don't care what happens this season." I'm almost on that sort of view. I don't really care. I look at it from this point of view. On the 30th of June, we were 3 days away from being liquidated as a football club.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for us, for any result this season, if we make the playoffs after that, and have been saved and having signed some of the players we've signed, I don't see how it can be anything other than a successful season. I think things are being put in place around the club in a good way. I think Warren's a great manager for this level. I think he'll do a good job for us.
I think even if you don't go up this year, it's a great platform for next year.
My only concern is the fact that we've got some very key young players that have stuck for relegation, and my concern is because they've only got 1 year left on their deals, they could be a big issue for us in the summer.
Yeah. And it's going to be a tough game tomorrow, and obviously, of course, it's going to be a game that a lot of people will tune into. It's on Sky Sports. It'll be watched by loads of people, and it'll be a game where it could decide promotion or who will miss out. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. And also, we'll move.
I don't think the season comes down to tomorrow.
No,
I don't think we lose tomorrow. I don't think you go, we're dropping out the top 6.
No, I think if we get a draw, I don't think we're not getting automatic promotion either.
Be a slim chance of trying to catch up to the top 3.
I think if we win, we've got a slim chance. I mean, we will be closer than what we've been for a few weeks,
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, if we wanted automatic promotion, we needed to beat Wycombe, we needed to beat Barnsley, we needed to, or one of them, or not draw games against Shrewsbury and Lincoln. We haven't done that, so we haven't managed to close the gap. We did win our game in hand, but really, when the other things don't fall in place, it's not really good enough.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I say not good enough. That'd be really harsh. I'm not one for criticize. I'll criticize our team's individual performances, but not the season. I think that you're always going to have some fans that expect to win the league. It wasn't ever going to happen. There's too much at this football club that has gone wrong in the last 3 years to just bounce back immediately.
Yeah, but fair play to Derby fans.
Yeah, that'll be on BT Sport as well, though.
Yeah. Fair play to you for where you come back to where you are in the league. Fair play to you guys. You're not winning. What was it like?
I'll be honest. In July, when we first got taken over, we didn't know what we were going to be able to sign. I think most of us were thinking, just try not get relegated, and that was genuinely. Obviously, when you then sign players like Hurahan and McGoldrick and Barkeys, you get a bit carried away with it. And some fans were going, "Oh,
great signings,
great signings." Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we're limited because obviously we're signed up to an EFL business plan and we can't sign players for fees. We've got a wage budget. We have a wage cap, but then I'm not going to moan about a wage cap because you're spending, I think, 40 grand a week more on wages than you are. So you're managing to be an automatic side.
Use the Argyle Way account, please, and type in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie, I said my start of season predictions for us was 4th, but I said anywhere in the playoffs I'd take. So, yeah. Pretty much where we are is where I expect.
I'm going to go 4-2 Argyle. So the same result as when we beat Scum 4-2. That was on Sky Sports as well. Interesting. But as well for everybody in the chat, if you want to get involved as well with the score predictions tomorrow, I think a lot of people, Jack and Liam has already done their score predictions already. I think I've seen them in Discord and on Instagram chat. But if you want to say yours again, Liam, your score prediction for tomorrow.
2-1 Argyle and Hardy to score.
And Hardy right now is he's now starting to get back into form and as well when
I don't get to watch you guys much, but I did watch the Papa John's Trophy semi-final, and that chip he scored against Chelsea
that goal was magnificent.
Yeah.
Oh, what a goal!
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
What a goal!
When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the game before last, he didn't hardly. He was lucky to get a shirt, I thought, because he had an absolute shocker against Peterborough.
That reminds me, he's not our squad. He's not in our team anymore, unfortunately, because I do miss him. But it reminds me a lot of Tom Lawrence for us over the 5-year period he was here. When he was on form, he was the best player in the Championship. But that was 1 in 4 games, 1 in 5 games.
Great player.
Great player. Give lots of nothing.
Great player.
The trouble is with Ryan Hardy, he's a big player on the big occasions when you need the big goals.
I think when the cameras are there tomorrow night, he'll
score.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was always going to happen because obviously when you come out of administration, you have to sign a business plan. But I think if we didn't need to sign a business plan and we could spend what we wanted, which would be reckless, and the EFL would never allow that, I think Lawrence would have stayed here. The reality of it was he was on 30 grand a week and he was never going to come down to 10.
No. Neither would you. Neither would I.
Interesting.
No, I mean, certain players have done, to be fair to them. You know, Curtis Davis took us 80% pay cut to stay here last season.
Yeah,
he's a true professional. He's our captain. But with respect to him, I don't really want to see him on the pitch anymore because I think his legs have gone. And
that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I have a feeling Hardy will be off in the summer if we don't get promoted, but can't blame him if it's a short career.
No, that's right. No, he sums it up. No, he's got a point. Yeah.
I mean, if a player leaves your club and they leave on to genuinely better things, and for a better way, you can't moan. You can't moan.
Yeah.
I don't think he could better himself.
But I look at our players. I look at our players that left last summer. Ebiaway went to Palace. Ebasele went to Udinese. Ravel Morrison who went with Rooney to DC. Nathan Byrne who went to Charlotte over there in the US as well. Buchanan who went to Werder Bremen, Lawrence who went to Rangers. I can't look at any of them and go, oh well, look, they've gone and ditched us and they've signed for a team which is not where we are. Like they're all in top. They're all in the first.
There was another. I don't know. I think you've already said his name, but there was another one that went to Palace.
Oh, Luke Plange. Yeah, but he's on loan at Lincoln.
Oh no, there was another one.
Yeah, Malcolm Ebiaway, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's on loan at Hull at the moment with Liam Rosenior, who I hope does a really good job there because I like him a lot.
I really like that everywhere.
I was one of the Derby fans. I'm not saying anything bad about Warren at all because I love the bloke. I've really warmed to him. But I've got to be honest. When we did let Rosenior go, I was very upset about it. I think it's the right decision for the club, but emotionally it was difficult to take because Liam's been there through this whole, difficult patch. He's kept our fans believing, and then he stayed and did our transfer window. People forget, people don't realise this is not a scouts transfer window, it's not a director of football. We didn't have a single member of recruitment staff this summer. Liam Rosenior's made every single one of these signings. And hats off to him.
Yeah,
hats off to him because he signed a really good squad.
So where are Derby now financially? What's going on with the situation?
I think we're in a really good position. We don't have any debt. Well, we do have some. We have about £3 million of debt we have to pay to Arsenal for the Christian Bielik transfer, which we still owe them. But other than that, we own our stadium now for the first time in years. We've got no debt. I think, revenue-wise, we can compete with any side in the EFL, apart from TV revenue, obviously, because that's league-based. I think that if we do go back up to the Championship under no restrictions, I think we're a force to be reckoned with. We've got no restrictions on FFP because we've not spent a penny in 4 years, so they can't, If we go up to the Championship without any restrictions in a couple of years, we'll have. I don't want us to spend loads and loads of money because that's just going to put us in the same mess we've been in. I don't like that style. But what I mean when I say that about FFP leeway is, if we do want to spend £10 million in the transfer window, and the owner wants to do that, we would have the financial capability to do so. This isn't a case of an owner trying to save face like Mel Morris when he was signing Wayne Rooney on £100,000 a week contracts with our sponsors paying all the money. It's a very different era. David Clowes is a local man. He's a lifelong fan. He's been going home and away with Derby for 40 years. He watches every game. He often doesn't even go in the director's box. He often travels in the away end with the fans. He's very well loved here, and he's a proper bloke, and he's somebody who I'm genuinely proud to say is the owner of my football club, rather than Mel Morris, who robbed charities of millions of pounds, racked up a £30 million unpaid tax bill, which for taxpayers written off most of, because that's the thing. We only paid £7 million of that 32 million we owed at HMRC. The government wrote it off on the basis that they needed to keep this club alive, and I'm very thankful they did. But that's shame on Mel Morris for what he's done to this city, this club's name, and what he's done for public pocket.
Yeah, and it's disgusting as well, and it put the club in a bad position financially, and as well the position they were in last year as well, into getting relegated, and then the turnaround as well has got to be praised as well. It's turned around, and you're back fighting again. Yeah. You could get back into the Championship.
The turnaround is based on the turnaround's based on a few things. The turnaround's based on Rosenior doing really well in the transfer window. It's based on us appointing a really high quality manager in Warren and some brilliant coaching staff around him. We've started bringing in some very good recruitment staff. I've seen we've got the director of football from Oxford, who's been very good at making profit there for a number of years. But it's not just that either. It's our academy and our squad that have stuck by us.
You've got one of the best academies in the EFL.
We've got the only Category 1 academy in this league. It costs us £6 million a year to maintain, and we continue to do so. We look at people like Bird in our side, like Knight in our side, like Cashin in our side, like less so Liam Thompson, Louis Sibley. They are all key components of this side, and they're all homegrown players. They're all academy players. And I think it's brilliant. And it's the one thing that Mel Morris invested in that he hasn't ruined. And I hope it stays that way. Although our under-21s have 1 point this season from 15 games, so it looks like he has ruined it.
Oh, dear. But as well, though, it's always good to see teams that obviously are in bad situations like that, but do end up turning it around. And obviously people that, and like the situation that Southend was in recently as well. And then right now, I think everything's looking fine, and they're coming back in a good situation. But and obviously don't like teams that end up being in like a Bury situation.
Yeah, 100%. And Liam and Harvey know this because I said it to them before. But a few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of going along with about 300 Derby fans. We all went up to Scunthorpe to try and help them out.
Good profile, Craig.
They ended up actually getting saved 2 days before we went, so we ended up being there for their survival party. But they were glad we went nonetheless. And I think it's really important. Actually, I don't like this whole situation of clubs mocking other clubs. It's not funny.
No.
It's not funny when
It's
someone's community is on the line. It's not funny when someone's livelihood's on the line, when you've got people working at the clubs, when you've got people who depend on clubs. I mean, especially with ours, you know, this club is the heartbeat of our city. We're not other than the train build, other than the heavy industry historically, this football club is something that's very proud in this city. And
it's a massive club.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a massive
and, you know,
club, yeah.
we have, we get 27,000 at Pride Park a week, and the way I felt is if we died, no club in the EFL could be possibly safe.
Yeah.
No, too big a club to have died. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
Would have been a shame. Such a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to think though that it wasn't close. It was very close. We nearly got kicked out of the EFL in February, and then we were, we were a week off having to submit proof of funds for the season when David Klaus took us over in July. So we've been very, very close to the wire on a couple of occasions, and it's very worrying for the Football League and for clubs in the Football League to see that, really. One advantage of being a big club like us, in a big, relatively big city, is that there is somebody like David Klaus with the money, local fan with the money to be able to save us. And also, obviously, big clubs, when they're ran well, when they fix their financial problems, can surge back up quickly because they've got the facilities and the capacity to do so. In terms of facilities and youth academy, we're a Premier League football club. And we're a championship club, probably in terms of our reputation. But we've got to get back up there. Everybody deserves to be in this league when they're in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And some teams in here, it's going to be an intense end to this season, and whoever gets promoted, fair play and congratulations, obviously, as well. But then obviously some teams do miss out. But like some teams that do miss out, it'll be tough on them because obviously some of them teams do deserve to be in the championship as well, which is also hard.
Yeah, but I think back to 2019 in the championship. If you look at the playoffs, because we lost the playoff final in 2019 to Aston Villa, but if you look at the teams in the playoffs that year, Leeds, West Brom, Derby and Villa, or the three that didn't get up, we're going to always feel very hurt about that. That's one of the strongest championship playoffs I've ever seen, I've ever taken part of, for really big clubs, including Aston Villa, of course, ex-champions of Europe. Leeds, the league titles that they've won, same with us and West Brom. Was remarkable. But when you're in these promotion battles, it's a joy to be in them with all the big sides, but it is very difficult to get out of them as victors, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, for everyone in the chat, we've got 12 people in here right now. Thank you all so much for coming in here and watching this stream. 1 hour and 22 minutes. It's been a brilliant stream so far. It's not over yet. We still got predictions to do. It's only 7 games tomorrow, so it won't be that long. So you can all put your predictions in the chat, get involved. I think Liam is still here. We'll get loads of other people involved. And we'll also get some chat on other teams as well whilst we're going through it as well. So get a little bit more of a discussion. Yeah,
also you have been doing it. But if anybody in the chat does have any questions about Derby, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine as well for Connor. But first game, obviously, I think this will be one of the other big games as well tomorrow. Barnsley versus Portsmouth.
Barnsley, yeah.
Just
two teams in really, really good form.
It's a big game. It's a big game, but I personally can't look past Barnsley at the moment. Not playing someone like Portsmouth. Portsmouth are a great side, but on the road against someone like Barnsley, I'm not convinced.
Mm-hmm. No. And that's why I'm thinking Barnsley could win this game, and they could stop Portsmouth's unbeaten run right now.
Draw. I'm going for a draw.
Go for a draw.
I hope so. I need Barnsley to drop points. They've got 2 games in hand on us, and they're creeping up behind us.
Another favour for us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1 Barnsley, though.
You've gone 2-1 Barnsley?
Yeah, I'm going to go, Harvey, I'm going to go 2-0 Barnsley. I'm going to go Devante Cole with the goal.
Devante Cole.
1-1.
Exact same as me.
1-1. Yeah, there's. Hello, Football Fanatic. Hello, massive game for both Argyle and Rams tomorrow. I'll definitely do a watch along on my channel for that one, but 2-2 is my prediction. Fair play, Football Fanatic.
That's my prediction as well, wasn't it? I said 2-2. I think. Did I not say that?
I think a lot of people will be watching that game.
But that is my match prediction. If I didn't say it, that 2-2 is my
Pompey win. It's Shuey's made 2. It's Shuey's made 2-1. Pompey. There's literally Pompey right now. And the best thing, we beat Pompey, and now they're on this unbeaten run. Thank you. For the 3 points, and now they're ruining other teams along the way. So perfect. But my score prediction, I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm going for.
I'm sort of torn with this because we're in the middle where there's still the optimist in me. We can still make the push for top 2, and I want results to go away. But then also, I want teams with playoffs to lose. But then also, I'm kind of like, yeah, but let's secure the playoffs and let's want the teams outside the playoffs to lose, sort of thing. So it's.
Yeah,
if anyone in the top 10 plays each other at the moment, I just want a draw.
I'm not sure. Craig will. I'll speak to you
everyone drops points if it's a draw, don't they? So that's always good.
I'm hoping that Portsmouth do us a favour, really.
Yeah,
massive hoping Portsmouth do us a favour.
I think it's doing both of us a favour. I think.
Really.
I don't know if Barnsley will. I don't think personally they'll end up challenging second. I think your biggest worry is going to be Ipswich. I think it was us until a couple of weeks ago, and then now it's Ipswich.
Definitely.
It's.
Who did you predict the score, Liam?
Cole.
Devontae Cole. Oh my God! I'll go. Well. Did Jack go for Bishop by any chance?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
If everyone else has gone Cole, I'll go Norwood then. If everyone else has gone.
God damn it!
I bet you're like this, Jack.
You can go for any.
Why the fuck did you do that?
I'm annoyed because he took the player that I took last week, and he's. I'm trying to think of who I might go for. You can pick Devontae Cole still, Connor, because you're a guest on it, so you can.
I'll pick Devontae Cole then. He scored 2 against us, so it's a fair enough bet.
Yeah, fair play. I'm thinking who I might go for then. I'm gonna go 2-2 anyways. It's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna go for Dane Scarlett. Different, ain't it? BT doing what near it. Oh yeah, that's fine, Craig. No worries.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, it'll be a tough game for Portsmouth tomorrow away at Oakwell, and if they do get a result, then honestly, fair play.
If they do beat Barnsley, I might have to change my mind. They might actually, people might start thinking, can they get top 6?
Can they actually do a late push? You never know. Anything could happen.
Well, it would do us a massive favour as well because the last thing because we've got such a hard game tomorrow, and I think. The last thing I wanted, because if we lose, realistically, Barnsley are probably going to go leapfrog us. So I don't want that to happen, obviously.
No.
So it'd be nice if Pompey could get the win, and then if we got something against Argyle, it would help us.
I think I put the predictions in Discord, didn't I? What did I go for? Because if I did predictions in Discord, then I'll go off them.
I've seen a lot of Wednesday. I think every single Wednesday fan in the country.
Oh no, I went 1-0
live. A Derby fan tomorrow, which is very rare because we don't have the best of relationships with Ipswich and Wednesday fans.
No,
particularly not Wednesday fans. Put it that way.
I think we deserve the Wednesday meme. Go on, do it. Wednesday.
Come on, Wednesday.
Come on, Wednesday.
There we go. God's sakes.
Right.
Yeah, brilliant.
Come on, Wednesday!
So we got 2 as well. Brilliant. But yeah, I went 1-0 Portsmouth, so yeah. Right. I nearly clicked back on the stream. Jesus, that would have kicked me out. Okay.
At least you didn't do a Craig anyway.
Yeah.
This is the easiest game to predict ever.
But next game, I predicted 1-0 win for this. I think Lincoln will win this.
I've gone 1-1.
They're hard to beat, and to be honest, I don't blame you for doing 1-1. To be honest.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I'm going 1-1.
They love drawing 1-1.
They do. They've drawn about 12 games 1-1 this season.
Yeah, I think it's 11 or 12 times they've
I've gone. Put your house on it to score.
Put your house on it. Yeah.
Well, I'll go Alfie. I'll go Alfie May. Why not?
Yeah.
Jack's put Alfie May as well. By the
yeah,
way,
brilliant. I'll go for Diamond then.
Yeah, good player him, Jack Diamond, really good player.
Yeah. I think
he has a tendency to dive a bit, as we found out when we went to Sincil Bank, but
I generally feel like some teams will look
not salty.
As well.
Yeah,
Lincoln win.
For me, this is either a 1-1 or a 1-0 Lincoln win. I don't see anything. I just think.
What score do you think this will be, Craig and Dave?
I think 1-0 Cheltenham.
Oh,
I think
1-0
it'll go 0-0.
Cheltenham.
I think it'll be draw.
1-0 Cheltenham. Fair play.
1-0 Cheltenham, May.
Alfie May, yeah.
It's very funny,
there's
actually,
one player
'cause,
that I think will get.
you know,
picked up by someone next
Lincoln have
summer.
lost
It will
7
be
games
Alfie.
this season, which is the same number as us and 2 less than Bolton.
And this is a question: if Alfie May does get linked by one team, what team do you think it will be?
If they don't go up, probably Ipswich, because they sign off the league, don't they?
They love bloody signing players like that, though, don't they?
No, actually, it seems more like a Pompey signing because they love getting the lower.
Yeah, they signed Bishop
lower
from
bottom half league
Stafford
ones,
to Stanley,
right?
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they love doing that.
It won't be us because we don't have any. We're not allowed to spend money.
Oh God. Yeah, but yeah, 1-0 Lincoln, I think, and I think Lincoln could get a good result, and it will definitely secure them safety. And Cheltenham, I think, good. They need
These are
a good
more
result.
boring side in this league than Lincoln. I mean, fair play to them, but
Horrible ground as well.
Strong side this season. They are hard to beat.
yeah, no,
Only 7 losses. For them this season.
I mean, we lost 4-1 at Barley, but losing 2-0 at Lincoln's that was our worst away performance of the season. We were terrible. Everything about that.
And then we've got a team here called Inconsistency FC versus Shrewsbury.
No, we got Clark Harris FC.
No, it's Inconsistency.
Or Poco
They
FC.
lose and win, lose and win.
Well, what have Peterborough done recently? Well, they beat you and they drew and they lost to Wednesday. That means they probably drew a win again, doesn't it? Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I've got to shoot everyone. Lovely to meet
Listen,
you all.
I'm just about to say the same. I've got to get to work for 7 o'clock. So
All right. No worries,
Right.
Craig.
I've got
no
to.
worries,
Great,
Dave.
listen,
That's
great
absolutely fine. Thanks for coming
great
on,
to hear from you all, and good luck to Derby. I hope you do get up there by the playoffs, but I'm going for a 3-1 tomorrow night.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, no problem. Take care.
Cheers,
See you
mate.
later.
Take care.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Thank you. And thank you as well, Craig, for coming on as well.
Can I just say actually quick, Connor? I'm doing a video at 7:40. It might be a push with these two. Are you free to come on? That'd be great if I could get you on.
When? Sorry.
7:40.
I might be.
Oh,
Cool.
brilliant. Are you on Insta?
Yeah, I
No,
am.
he's on
They
Discord.
they
He's on
know
Discord.
my Insta. They
Discord
can
as
send
well.
it.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
follow
see
the
you two
Argyle
lads.
Way, so.
If you can, it'd be brilliant, mate. All right, have a good one, lads. I'll see you later.
All right.
Leave,
Craig.
press leave studio. Press leave studio.
Press leave studio.
Yeah, all right, I'm leaving the studio, everyone. I'm leaving the studio. I'm leaving the
Yeah.
studio.
Thank you.
There we go. See you later.
There we go. Way.
And then there were 3.
Yes. If he did
Yeah.
end the stream, I would be like this.
No.
Why the fuck did you do that?
But
Anyways,
yeah.
I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 2-0 Peterborough, by the way. And I'm gonna obviously gonna go Johnson Clark Harris because
So did
Clark
I,
Harris.
funny enough.
Yeah, because you went
I
for
just-
him. Sharp.
I just think Peterborough are really inconsistent, but they are at home. Shrewsbury got a really good result at Pride Park on Saturday.
Yeah, and they're an under.
But
I feel
I
like
don't
they're
know.
the most
I
underrated
don't see
side
them
this
backing
season.
it up. But I think that Shrewsbury will fall away. They've been really good recently, but they've got such a hard run of games coming up, and I just think that they're not going to end up. They're
This
not
will
going
be
to
a
end
big
up in the
test.
round.
By the way, just to let you know, Football Fanatic is Mitchell.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Ah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
How come he changed his name? Is it because of what we talked about, Connor? About
What do you mean?
there's another channel called Hours Talk. Is that
I didn't
right?
know you said that to me. I don't know.
Oh, I can't
Not
remember
the
then.
one.
I don't know.
Peterborough
Ah,
won,
I don't know.
Shrewsbury won, 1-2. Yeah. Cheltenham and
3-0
Lincoln
tomorrow.
0-0 fairs. But yeah, Shrewsbury. I feel like
Hello, Nat.
I think some people
Yeah,
agree with
evening,
this in the chat, but I think they're the most underrated side in this league right now. They're very underrated.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, a side's underrated when they're not talked about and they're doing well. Shrewsbury doing well is being talked about by everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Almost
and,
where
yeah.
people think they're going to be a playoff contender, and they're not. I don't think they're going to be. So no, I don't think they're overrated. I don't
To
think
be
they're
honest, and
underrated.
as well, I generally thought this season they would finish in the bottom half.
I
Yeah,
actually had
bottom half
them
of the
as
season.
my dark horse for the playoffs at the start of the season, which is quite a good prediction from me. But I don't think they'll end up 8th. I think they'll probably end up 11th, 12th, or something like that later in the season.
Hello, Nat. How are you? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, what did I go for in the Discord? I went for 1-1 between Peterborough and Shrewsbury. I put Clark Harris, but I can't put him now because Liam stole him. So I'm going to go for
Huh.
who did Jack go for? Poku or Mason Clark by any chance?
I'm having a look.
If he did, and I'm gonna hurt him.
We went Bayless.
Good, because I'll take Mason Clark then. Thank you.
Well, one of the few things I found out were, Tom Bayliss has scored a free kick against us for the first goal. Apparently, he's a massive Derby fan. So,
oh dear.
Oh,
a true Derby fan would have skied it into Rose Edme. That's what I say.
Written in the stars. Written in the stars, yeah.
But no, seriously, well done to the lad, because I think any Derby fan's dream would be scoring at Pride Park, and he's got that dream.
Seriously.
Fair enough.
Brilliant. And then the two relegation battlers, Cambridge versus Morecambe.
This is hard to call.
Can we say
Cambridge are one of the poorest sides in the league, and Morecambe have got the worst away record in the league. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
I went 0-0 as well.
I've gone 1-0 Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Cambridge like keeping games tight, and Morecambe don't win away. So you just could think.
I could see this either. Yeah, could either be Cambridge or 0-0. 2-1 Morecambe. There's Stevie.
I went Ironside to score.
I guess if there's any game that Morecambe will win this season, it'll be something like this.
Yeah, and if so, the player that I bagged to score was Harvey Nibbs, who we were interested in signing, and we had a bid rejected.
Yeah, we've been linked with him before as well. I think
he looks good. He looks good. That Harvey Nibbs.
Yeah,
he looks good. He scored against Ipswich. That banger was brilliant. That was a brilliant goal.
Yeah.
Cambridge win 2-1. Fair play, True Blue. Fair play for that prediction. Cambridge could win and they could surprise some people, but I just feel like if there's one team that could get relegated this season, I think it will be Cambridge.
Yeah, I think Forest Green and Cambridge are both pretty toast, to be honest, now.
Yeah, they've been poor.
Yeah. Cambridge,
I think Morecambe could survive due to their home form, I think their home form could...
Yeah, that'll be the one thing. But they've still got some really hard home games coming up, and they do have to,
it's not like
they've got easy games.
We've still got to go there as well, so it'll be a tough game for us.
Bolton went there, didn't they? They got a point against Bolton in the last game. Yeah.
Yep. Bloody brilliant result for them. And then, obviously, let's just get this result done and over with, because I think a lot of people will be predicting a high score for this.
Well, they should do. If Ipswich failed to beat Accrington, I don't think,
they don't deserve to get promoted.
Be very poor. I mean, it was like they didn't beat Cambridge, and you've got to win these games.
We beat Aki 3-0 at home.
Yeah, we beat them 4-0 and 3-0.
Oh, sorry.
We both had a red card. I remember that game.
Yeah, when we beat them 3-0.
And Connolly.
No, you beat them 4-0, didn't you?
We beat them 3-0 away, and then we beat them 4-0 at home.
Ooh, you're hard.
The 4-0, I remember we had a red card from William Masula last appearance.
Go on then. Who got sent off? You remember?
Well, I said William Masula, the striker.
Sorry.
Gone back to
Masula.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There was that game, I think, which was the last, because I think Paul Warren got very, very angry, and I think between him and Sheffield United, I think they decided to, recall him because.
No, you're not winning 4-0 again.
The thing is, he wasn't playing much. He came off the bench to have a bit of impact. He gets sent off, and you think you're 4-0 up. And it wasn't a red card like it was a cynical foul or a late tackle. It was a red card because he kicked out when he was on the floor. It's like
I didn't know Ipswich lost at Accrington Stanley last year. Oh dear.
Yeah, but this is them at home, and I think I'm going to go 4-0. And I'm going to go
won, Accrington Stanley won. Just saying, when I say Plymouth points, they do, and Liam isn't very happy when I do. I think it's going to be one of them games that frustrates Ipswich. It could, but we'll see what happens with that. As obviously Ipswich right now, they're hitting very, very top form, and
we look at private.
Of course, it's not going to be a hard game. Ipswich, Accrington Stanley on their day can be a hard team to play against. Honestly, they are, and it will be pretty tough. So we will see how we get. We'll see how Ipswich get on against them. We will see how Ipswich get on. We were shit last year. We were shite last year. Yeah, I think where did Ipswich finish? They were like 11th, 10th, something like that. Maybe a little bit higher, I think. Not sure. Drab game, Ipswich Town 0, Accrington Stanley 1. What? Okay, fair.
Well, there'll be some result for everyone in and around our.
I think there'll be a lot of memes going around it for Ipswich fans.
I do think with Ipswich, I do think that Obviously, they were going through a little bit of pouring of loads of draws back then. I think a lot of their fans seem to think they fixed it. With all due respect, you haven't fixed it by beating Forest Green, MK Dons, and Burton. I think you actually have to have tougher tests to prove whether you've actually fixed it and whether you've actually, going to either make autos or even finish that third, fourth position in the playoffs, because Ipswich could still be under siege when they've got the harder games. They've got 3 difficult away games at Pride Park, at the Uniball, and at Oakwell, and they're not easy games of football.
Pack the bus. Oh, let's all pack the bus then. Come on. No, I'm joking. I know what you meant, Stevie.
Yeah. But yeah, I went 4-0 Ipswich, and you took Chaplin, so I can't take Chaplin. Jack took, I don't know who I don't know. I nearly said Jacqueline.
Fraudulent took Ladapo.
All right, I'll take Broadhead again then. Dubs.
This is the last. This is the last one, isn't it?
And then the last one before the Argyle one, which I will say on here. Wickham v Fleetwood. I think this will be Wickham's toughest game. I think.
I'm going 1-0 Fleetwood, and I'm going.
I got. Oh, bloody hell, no, I got Wickham in a bet. Thank you.
But I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Sure.
Please.
I think Liam put Rooney to score.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did.
I just said Rooney.
I'll put Vokes to score.
Oh, but I bet bloody Jack took Rooney.
Yeah, true, Blue. I know you did draw with Wednesday and Plymouth. It's just you seem to draw a lot of games, even we do as well. So it's not criticism. It's just
no.
I just think
I
winning 3 of these games in a row, like against poor sides, that doesn't really show much.
I think I went with 2-0 Wickham and Vokes, and Jack's gone with 1-0 Wickham and Plain to score. If you know, you know. Wing.
I'll take Rooney then. That's fine by me. But yeah, this will be a tough game for Wickham, and if they don't win this, I think their promotion playoff hunt could be over. I think it could end up hitting a dead end. I think. If I'm honestly going to say. Elite Vipers, True Blue, Wednesday gauged 2 stupid free kicks away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But for Wickham, obviously they need to start hitting the ground running under their new manager. Losing Gareth Ainsworth, going to be tough. But if you want to chase for playoffs, you need to win these type of games. Simple as.
Well, I think if they win, they do have a chance to close it down, because Barnsley playing quite difficult opposition. We're playing very difficult opposition. There is, now's an opportunity to close 3 points and get
to close 3 points.
Be close again, because they've dropped away a bit. So
and then obviously the final one, Argyle versus Derby. Connor's already said his prediction.
Well, I'm going to say 2-2, David McGoldrick, because he scores every game for us. So
he scores every game.
Scores every game. I went 2-2.
I've gone 2-1 win.
Fair play.
Yeah.
You put Hardy, Liam. I'll take Azaz. If he doesn't start, then I'll probably pick somebody else.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, it'll be a tough game, and it's going to be.
Come and meet me at halftime if you want.
It's going to be a rocking atmosphere. Derby fans, Argyle fans. It's going to be a very, very good atmosphere. It's going to be a massive game. Everyone will be up for it. Simple as that. So we will see what happens tomorrow. But it's going to be a very, very eventful day tomorrow for around League One. Loads of games going on. Tuesday night, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Wednesday had to get a goal in the last 3 minutes. 3-2 Derby, Stevie. It would be a miracle if Accrington Stanley hold out for a 0-0. Yeah, probably would. Be interesting when we play you boys in Derby. See, that will determine who could probably push for maybe third, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to finish third, don't they? So they can get the 6th place in the playoffs and get the easiest route proved potentially. But that doesn't guarantee you anything. I was saying 2019, I brought this up before, when we knocked Leeds out, finishing 6th and they finished 3rd. Often the team finishing 3rd, particularly if they have bottled an automatic race, don't tend to do very well. If we finish 3rd, it'd be a different story, because we've never really been in an auto race. But certainly if it's Ipswich or Plymouth, it's not always easy. It's not always easy mentally when you've lost out on autos.
Ipswich are known for bottling anyway.
Yeah. 1 hour and 44 minutes on the stream. We got around like five 5 to 3 minutes left on the stream chat. If anybody's got any questions in, put them in the chat. We could ask some questions before we head off, because it's nearly hit 1 hour and 50 minutes now. We don't want to be on for a lot longer because we've got stuff to do. So we can't stay here all day.
Speak for yourself.
12 people watching. 12 people watching. Thank you all so much for coming in. We gained 2 more subs as well. We're up to 253 subs. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Be fantastic. And hopefully, and potentially, Craig could be doing a watch along on his channel tomorrow, everyone. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Bottling it, lol, from True Blue. It's an exciting. Connor, you're coming to Hillsborough on the final day.
Mitch, I will be. Yes, I go to most away games. Yeah, I go to most away games. I'll definitely go into Wednesday. I go to Sheffield most days for uni anyway. So yeah, getting the train up to Sheffield. So I will be going. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Stevie, for coming on. Always, you're one of our daily viewers, and you always come on the live chat. It's always brilliant. I'll be behind the dugout, lol. Yes, Stevie, let's go.
Nice.
The dugout, fantastic. It's a lovely place to be. So you get to see.
Can you get me a picture of Paul Warren's shiny head?
Shout abuse at.
He'd be wearing his bubble hat as always, won't he? He'd be wearing his bubble hats.
Yeah.
Go on, Stevie. Go on, Stevie. Shout abuse at Baldy for me. I'll give you permission.
Yeah, that's fine, Mitch. We'll see closer to the time. It's still
no,
May.
If there was
it's
one
May,
Baldy that you
it's
shout at, it would be that Accrington Stanley manager.
Sorry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was shouting at Accrington Stanley's manager.
He's bold. He needs a forward.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I say nobody likes John Coleman.
No.
John Coleman, yeah. I'll be happy to meet up with you one before after the game.
One of the most deluded managers I've ever seen.
He always has a hat, Connor. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Warren loves his hats.
He loves his hat.
Yeah. But he said to us all, he said it's easy to wear it now, but he said he'll continue to wear them. But he's challenged our fans because we wear a lot of bubble hats to games to mimic him. And he says when it gets to May, if he's sweating his bollocks off wearing a cap in May, we've all got to wear one as well. So hopefully we'll be bouncing at Wembley in May. We're all wearing bubble hats at Wembley. Class
Liam, you're the team that had to get your fan thrown out at Ipswich for playing with. Oh, for goodness sakes!
Yeah.
God, don't get me started, Liam. I will do it.
True, Blue, you're making Plymouth look like Pompey there. You know, it's almost insinuating that like.
No, we're not like Pompey. We're not like Pompey. We're not like Pompey. They're in their own league. They can deserve to be there. They don't deserve to be anywhere near us. I'm sorry, but they're in the league of their own, as people call them. But Westwood is, I don't know. Literally, one day that bell. Literally, when he had that bell at home park, it was pissing me off. I had enough.
It's the most annoying thing in football.
It's the most annoying noise I've
How long
ever heard.
How long is he banned for anyway? The fraud. Probably not that long.
It's not. I don't think it's that long. Unfortunately, I think he'll be at Pride Park.
He was back.
Because it's Westwood. You don't get a long of a ban.
He was back against the Bolton. I heard the bell.
Was he?
No, he got banned again. He got banned because he was on Sky and he did some like indecent exposure.
Yeah, he was doing a very inappropriate action with his bell. So
oh god,
there you go.
He's a creep. He's a weirdo.
He's an absolute fraudulent creep. So that's what we say. Some of our fans are a bit not right in the head. Pompey will do well next season.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Really? But Stevie, that's what they say every year, and they've been trapped down here for 12 years.
They say that, and then they'll get relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
No.
At least Jack's got a feature in this.
He's got a feature in this, so at least he's got a bit of a feature. But yeah, thank you all so much, chat. That's where we'll have to end it, unfortunately. Thank you still for chilling with us. 9 people still in here, but absolutely fantastic support as always. Thank you, Connor, for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. No
absolutely brilliant to have anybody on.
My pleasure.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to have you on. Anybody, if any of Argyle fans or any of opposition fans want to come on at any point, give us a DM and you can potentially jump on to the stream for a preview or review if you want.
Have you talked with Brad maybe about Saturday? Because he might go on for Barnsley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll.
I think it'll be.
I think Jack will message him.
I'll
Definitely.
try and get hold of Barnsley on tour as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Barnsley on
definitely.
tour, yeah.
That'll be brilliant. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all
Brilliant YouTube channel,
enjoyed.
that. Yeah.
It's been a fantastic stream, and also Dave coming on as well, fantastic, and Craig also coming on, fantastic as well. I think the top 6 are set. It's just where everyone finishes now.
Yeah, I agree in that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
pretty much.
I'll join you for the review if that's okay. Yeah, that's brilliant, Stevie. You can join for the review. Fantastic. But we'll
I
see
might
you all
not
then.
want to join for a review. It depends what happens.
Yeah, it depends the result.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah,
for the review.
brilliant.
I mean,
But
if we
it's gonna be
hang on,
fantastic.
just before we go,
Just before
we go. When Stevie joins for the review, if we lose, it'll be Stevie Rant Watson.
Stevie Rant Watson. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see you all for the review and potentially a watch along tomorrow with Craig. So if it is confirmed that he will be doing a watch along, it will be posted on our socials. So keep an eye on that. So we'll see you all then. We'll
Yeah, Stevie, I'll be on regardless, even if we lose 5-0, mate. I'm joking.
But thank you all so much. We'll see you in the next stream or video. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And up the Green Army. We'll see you all next time.
You
Goodbye.
Rams.
Bye bye.
When they pull on the green, they're all Janners.